So I mean, how do you personally, obviously as someone that's involved in the media yourself and doing all the wonderful things that you do, how do you feel about the representation of women? Do you think that it's slowly changing, or do you think that there's a lot more that needs to be done?
I actually think I think in America it's slightly starting to change, and I think it's opening doors here.
Right.
But I think what needs to be happening is, if something is opening up for the fuller size figure, which is size 14 upwards, it needs to be of good quality, so people can see it and think, okay, full-figured companies can do something that's really exceptional, something great, and that we can be proud of.
Right. So it's about basically tapping in to the market in the correct way that's going to ensure some sort of longevity.
Definitely.
Right. Okay, so do you agree then that the reason behind not, at the moment, or as it stands, not necessarily having so much larger women represented in the media, do you agree with the fact that it has something to do with money, you know, the whole economics behind it? You know, obviously, you know, if you, all right, say for example you have a magazine, you know, we pick up a Heat magazine or a Now magazine, and you're inundated with all these celebs that are skinny and they look well, in some people's opinion, fantastic in what they wear and their clothes hang in the right way. So the average woman that might not be so secure in herself might think, oh, you know, I want to look like that. Oh, turn the next page, you see the next best fad, you know, the next diet. So it kind of all works hand in hand. Do you think it has anything to do with money?
You know, obviously the media portrays a certain way of that you should look, and that helps them to make money. And obviously they believe that if you are trying to sell a product or a service for anyone who's over a size 12 or 14, they don't believe they're going to make money in it. So they make you actually believe that this is the only way that we can actually see things happening. And I think those things are now starting to change.
Yeah.
Like I said, if it's something that's set up really well, that it's not really advocating for women to be really obese and really unhealthy. There's ways of doing it, and we're saying be proud to be who you are regardless of your size. It's not about saying, oh, you're size 14 or you're size 30. You know, it's about saying I am the size and I'm embracing who I am.
You touched on health. I mean, I completely agree with that, and I'm going to come back to that, but I mean, you touched on health. I mean, again, this must be something that needs to be taken into account as well when we're trying to kind of push forward, you know, imagery of larger women. You know, the fact that obviously you've got health. I mean, other factors come into it, you know, culture, where you come from. Obviously a black woman is going to have a completely different shape to say maybe someone from Hong Kong or China. Do you see what I mean? So you kind of have to take all these factors into account. Do you think that the media is kind of understanding that and realizing that in fact money can be made if you kind of tap into these areas in the right way?
They're missing a huge space right there. They're not even thinking about it. It's like sometimes you know, you hear about artists who say the same thing within the music industry. They may the actual record companies may not see something until you show it to them, and that's what needs to be done for the plus size women or women who are slightly larger. You have to actually bring it to them and let them say, look, this is what you're missing out on. This is what people really want. And when they see that, they'll jump on board.
Because I mean, come on, you know, all right, you know, certain things like fashion shows and whatever, you can understand why you might have a really tall person because you're displaying the clothes and that kind of thing. You know, all right, you're not going to have, you know, someone that's huge fly down the aisle, but by the same token, I don't see why you should have someone that's underweight fly down there. Do you see what I mean?
Especially because, you know, they say that one of the recent surveys say that women are more depressed after viewing images of female fashion models.
Not surprised.
Neither am I. You know, they look at it and they think this is something that I cannot relate to.
Can never aspire to.
Yeah, it's unrealistic.
It is. I mean, unless you literally, if you're someone like myself that likes their food, it's just not happening.
Like me, I'm a full-figured woman.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have to be able to embrace it. And I've been a larger woman, smaller than this and larger than this, since I was a teenager. So if I bought into what the media just said, that you're wrong, Rianne, you are totally wrong, I would have no self-esteem.
You'd have no, and that's key, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, even with what you're trying to achieve is the whole self-esteem.
Definitely.
Embracing
what it's
yourself.
All about.
Fantastic. I completely, as I said to you, you know, I completely, you know, salute what you're doing and all what you stand for, because, I mean, there are so many women that lack self-esteem, that are so insecure in themselves, and a lot of it, I believe, is because of what we see on the TV, what we see in the movies, in magazines, even on adverts, billboards, and, you know, every form of media is throwing this ideal or this apparent ideal in your face. you know, and if you're someone that already lacks a little bit of self-esteem, that's just going to send you over the edge.
Exactly. There's no way of you holding on to your self-esteem if that is all you see. So all we're trying to do is give you a balance.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what the media says, but what about you? So how about let's have something that you can aspire to and look at and say, oh, I can identify myself in that size 16, that size 20, that size 22 woman. And that's what it's about, being proud to be who you are regardless of size.
Definitely. I've got a fact here that I found while I was just browsing online,
go ahead.
and it says women who are insecure about their bodies are more likely to buy beauty products, new clothes and diet aids, and it is estimated that the diet industry alone is worth anywhere between 40 to 100 billion US dollars a year, selling, now this kind of makes me sick actually, selling temporary weight loss fixes, with 90 to 95% of dieters actually regaining the weight that they lose on these things. And so this is major money, they're saying. So this is why they do what they do, and this is why they have the images and the models that they do.
Of course. You know, and the thing is with that, it's like, you know, any woman most women, regardless of their size, has tried to be on a diet in one form or the other. You've tried everything, and once you've tried all those actual diets, you end up putting more weight on.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact, because I've done it so many times. Yeah, you know
Me
what I mean?
too, love, me too, honestly.
But then what it is that what women are starting to forgetting to realise is that it's not about the size that you are, it's the mentality. It's the mentality that you have and how you're really thinking. So if you start to believe in yourself and kind of embrace yourself, if you want to lose weight after that, that's fine.
That's fine.
You can do that. But you hear about women who lose 5 stone, 10 stone, and they're still really unhappy.
Not happy.
So it wasn't the weight, it's how they're feeling.
And it's, you know, that is so true, Rianne, and I think that happens in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
You know, women do shed these pounds, and it's always for the wrong way, whether it's to, I don't know, satisfy a man, or, you know, because someone said, you know, it's so true. You hear that story so many times.
Yeah.
So I think the key here is just love thyself, and if you want to lose weight, do it for you.
That's right.
Any move you make has to be because that's what you want.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's one of the reasons why Evolve was actually putting on Evolve Body Confidence Workshop, which is really all about embracing yourself, helping yourself to get back into receiving your self-esteem, regaining your self-esteem. And it's a workshop that we're holding on the 22nd of May.
All right.
It's been held down at the Tres Health Spa off Chelsea Bridge.
Okay.
And it's in cooperation with a great company called Winning Minds and Mark Newey, and he is the UK's leading self-esteem expert.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's actually along with Natasha Devon, who's a body confidence campaigner, is holding this great event to help women to actually say, okay, I am whatever size I am, but you know what, I'm going to love me, and I'm going to regain my self-esteem, and I'm going to leave here feeling them better than how I walked in.
And I came in.
Yeah.
And so just remind people exactly where that is and when that's taking place.
It's on the 22nd of May. It's at the Tres Health Spa, just off Chelsea Bridge. But you can find out all about that on the Evolve Media, the Evolve Magazine Facebook page.
Right, okay, and that's just EVOLVE.
Magazine +size women.
Right, okay, so you need to go along and check that out. If you are not necessarily a large woman, but a woman that, you know, fancies a bit of boosting, you know, boost to the old self-esteem.
We all need it sometimes.
We all need it, Rianne.
Right.
We all do, you know, and I think it's good for us to actually get that, just to remind you of how much you're worth. You know, you need to go along and check that. That's at the Tres Spa off Chelsea Bridge Road, and you can find all that information on the Evolve Magazine Facebook page. So that's EVOLVE Magazine +size women. Right, there you go.
The other thing is, the good thing about this workshop is that being a part of the Evolve Facebook page allows you to get a great discount.
Okay.
These workshops actually run at £75 per 4 hours. For Evolve members, we have got it down to an amazing £25.
Wow, that's £50 saving.
Exactly. So you need to go on, get the discount code, and book yourself a seat on that great workshop.
In fact, you can go and do that, because we're about to jump into a break. So go and do that now.
Yay.
That's Evolve, EVOLVE Magazine hyphen
+size women.
+size women. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.